The film opens with a woman named Charlotte. Charlotte lives in a large house with her husband, Tom. Tom is a successful businessman who's incredibly busy, sometimes spending days in meetings. From the outside, they look like the perfect family. A big house, a well-off couple, and what seems like a happy marriage. But inside the house, things are cold and far from comfortable. Charlotte feels more like a beautiful decoration in the house than someone who's truly cared for. One night after dinner, Tom tries to get closer to Charlotte. It seems like he wants to fix the dull atmosphere in their home. But Charlotte no longer has emotional energy for that. Tom desperately wants to have a child as soon as possible, as if that would solve all their problems. But at that very moment, Charlotte tells Tom that she wants a divorce. At first, Tom thinks it's just an emotional outburst, but when he realizes Charlotte is completely serious, panic spreads across his face. Tom tries everything he can to stop Charlotte, but her mind is made up. She no longer wants to stay in that marriage.
Let's talk tomorrow once you've calmed down.
It's us. It isn't working.
The next morning, Charlotte packs all her belongings and heads to the train station. There, she immediately calls her boyfriend, Ewan. It turns out the reason Charlotte left home was because she had fallen in love with Ewan, a mysterious man who supposedly had a gentle way of speaking, was full of sweet words, and made life feel exciting again. Ewan had promised to take her away from that city, but Charlotte's calls go unanswered. No matter how many times she tries, she gets no response. Charlotte eventually goes to Ewan's apartment, but instead of finding him, she meets the landlord, Paula.
Hi,
I don't think so.
Charlotte is confused and doesn't know where to go until Tom shows up to pick her up and takes her back home. As soon as they get home, Tom starts questioning Charlotte, wanting to know who the man was that made her leave him. Charlotte stays silent, unable to answer. That night, Tom shows Charlotte several social media posts. They contain testimonials from women who had been deceived by Ewan. Ewan isn't the perfect man Charlotte imagined. He's a liar who often takes advantage of lonely women. His pattern is always the same. Romantic at first, then he disappears without a trace. Many women have already become his victims. Charlotte, who had been so sure about Ewan, begins to lose faith in him. She eventually apologizes to Tom and hopes there's still a chance to repair their relationship. Tom accepts her apology, and the two of them try to reconcile. The next day, Charlotte is going to have lunch with her in-laws. She gets dressed nicely, hoping the family gathering will go smoothly, especially without the exhausting questions about when they're going to have children. On the way there, Charlotte has a feeling that someone is following her, but not wanting to seem paranoid. She decides to ignore it and keeps walking as usual. When she arrives at the cafe, Isadora, Tom's mother, immediately brings up the fact that Charlotte had run away the day before. Charlotte finally speaks honestly. Throughout her marriage to Tom, she has always felt alone. Tom is so busy with work that he doesn't even have time to pay attention to his wife. A big house means nothing when all it contains is loneliness.
drink that.
On the way back, Charlotte remembers Ewan's sweet promises once again. Promises that once sounded convincing, but in the end, not a single one of them ever came true. The memories bring her spirits down once again. Feeling uneasy, Charlotte decides to stop by Tom's office. There, she tells him that she feels like someone has been following her. Tom then explains that the man following her is actually someone he hired to protect Charlotte in case anything bad happens. Hearing that only makes Charlotte even more upset. To her, Tom has crossed a line and made her feel like she has no privacy. To make things better, Tom eventually invites Charlotte on a trip to their family's villa. The weekend finally arrives. They head to the villa, a large and luxurious place located beside a river with crystal clear water.
Culling season,
Behind the house is a mound of dirt that stands out a little. Tom even takes photos of himself and Charlotte in front of it and in several other spots around the villa, since he enjoys photography. But while they're taking pictures, Stefan, Tom's driver, and Tanner, the housekeeper, both look uneasy. It's as if they know something but don't want to talk about it. During dinner, Charlotte shares news that completely changes the mood. She announces that she's 5 weeks pregnant. Tom immediately looks overjoyed. It's the news he's been waiting to hear for a long time. He's so happy that he immediately wants to spend some time alone with Charlotte. That night, Charlotte can't sleep. Her mind is once again filled with thoughts of Ewan. Even though she already knows the bitter truth, her heart still can't accept that the man who once made her feel alive was actually a con artist. Feeling confused and curious, Charlotte eventually opens her laptop. Charlotte starts searching for information about Ewan online. After scrolling for quite a while, she comes across a post from Ewan's older sister, Rebecca. In the post, it says that Ewan has been missing for a week and that his family has no idea where he is. That makes Charlotte stop and wonder for a moment, did Ewan really disappear, or did someone make him disappear?
You right? What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
The next morning, Charlotte contacts Rebecca.
Hi, is this Rebecca?
They eventually meet and talk a lot about Ewan. Rebecca also seems confused because her brother disappeared without saying a word. But their conversation is cut short when Tom calls and asks Charlotte to come home immediately. When Charlotte gets back to the villa, Tom once again asks her to spend some time alone with him, as if trying to ease the tension. The next day, Charlotte plans to meet Rebecca again, but Tom won't let her because his mother is coming to the villa. Charlotte comes up with an excuse and says she wants to buy some new clothes.
Morning. Hi.
Sounds good, actually.
Reluctantly, Tom gives her permission. Once they arrive at the store, Charlotte asks Stefan to pick out some clothes for her, while Charlotte and Rebecca go to visit the apartment where Ewan used to live. There, they meet Paula again.
Brother, what's that got to do with me?
This is...
Paula says that she doesn't know Ewan at all. Not long after that, a man arrives at the apartment. His name is Troy, and he's Paula's boyfriend, as well as the man who has been following Charlotte all this time. As Troy walks in, Charlotte and Rebecca quietly slip inside and start looking for clues. From what Paula said earlier, they learned that Troy had rented the apartment to a friend of his named Ewan, while Paula was out of town. It turns out that Ewan had accepted a job from someone, and that job involved Charlotte. He was hired to get close to her and make her fall in love with him. After the job was done, Ewan disappeared without giving Troy any compensation. Feeling cheated, Troy went to Ewan's boss and was eventually paid with a diamond necklace. As soon as Troy leaves, Charlotte and Rebecca ask Paula to show them the necklace.
He's involved in...
When the necklace is brought out, Charlotte immediately falls silent. It belongs to Zadora, Tom's mother. Charlotte is stunned, feeling like all the pieces that never made sense before have suddenly fallen into place. She begins to believe that Ewan didn't come into her life by chance, but was actually sent by someone in her family. Before Charlotte can fully process it, there's a knock at the door. As soon as Paula opens it, a masked man barges in and, without saying much, kills Paula. The man also takes the necklace that Paula is holding. Charlotte and Rebecca panic, but they manage to hide and survive the incident. The next morning, Charlotte calls Rebecca and asks for her home address. As soon as Rebecca sends it, Charlotte heads there. When she arrives at Rebecca's house, Rebecca shows her several photos she managed to collect from Paula's apartment. Photos that could be evidence of what really happened. From those photos, a shocking truth is revealed. Years ago, Isadora had an affair with a man named Peter. Even worse, Tom witnessed the affair with his own eyes.
He's not a kid anymore.
Overwhelmed by rage, Tom kills Peter on the spot. Peter's body is then buried by Stefan in the yard of Tom's family villa. That's why Stefan and Tanner looked so uneasy when Charlotte and Tom were taking pictures in the villa's yard. As they talk about what happened back then, Tom loses control of his emotions and accidentally pushes his mother.
I am what I am. Tanner!
It's okay.
Not long after that, Charlotte received a call from Tom, asking her to come to the hospital. There, Charlotte learns that Isadora has passed away. But that's not the only surprise. Isadora leaves her entire inheritance to Charlotte instead of Tom.
Obviously, the business and aside from the specific trust fund, everything else goes to Charlotte.
The 10 million remain.
Tom immediately flies into a rage. He refuses to accept it, and all his anger is taken out on Charlotte. Charlotte can't take Tom's behavior anymore, so the next morning, she decides to leave. Panicking, Tom suddenly starts acting sweet.
Promised that I would change to help this marriage. Please.
Tom apologizes and even gives Charlotte Isadora's diamond necklace. But at that moment, Charlotte realizes that everything points to Tom. He's the one who's been behind all the strange incidents. In the bathroom, Charlotte quickly takes off the necklace, then pretends to be sick and asks Tom to buy medicine at a pharmacy. While Tom is gone, Charlotte searches for evidence in the storage room. There, she finds many things that confirm her suspicions. But unfortunately, Tom comes back sooner than expected and catches her. Charlotte finally asks Tom why he hired Ewan. Tom says it was only to test Charlotte's loyalty. He was afraid Charlotte would betray him the way Isadora once did. But things changed when Ewan actually fell in love with Charlotte. Unable to accept that, Tom killed Ewan. After that, Tom orders Tanner and Stefan to get rid of Ewan's body. Terrified, Charlotte tries to run away, but Tom quickly catches her and knocks her unconscious. Just as Tom is about to bury Charlotte alive, Charlotte insults his pride, calls him to let his guard down.
I'd be living on the sea free.
Charlotte takes advantage of the moment and hits Tom, knocking him to the ground. She then makes her way back toward the villa with the little strength she has left. But Tom is still alive and tries once again to kill Charlotte. Luckily, Stefan sees what happens and immediately shoots Tom, killing him. The film continues with a scene after Charlotte has given birth to her baby. One day, Charlotte visits Tanner's house with her baby. There, she sees something she never could have imagined. Ewan is still alive and living there. It turns out that when Tom ordered Tanner and Stefan to kill Ewan, Tanner couldn't go through with it. She secretly saved Ewan and took care of him in hiding. Charlotte is shocked, but also relieved. Ewan is alive and safe. And that's where the story ends.